Hey guys, it's Stoof here. Welcome back to my channel. So I finally caved in and I bought a webcam. So hopefully this will make the live streams a little bit more convenient and from a better angle, better viewpoint for you to see. And hopefully you can hear me. This webcam has a built-in microphone, so if during the stream you have any trouble hearing me or something is off, then just let me know, because this is the first time using my webcam for a painting tutorial. Let me pull up my image that we're going to paint today. Okay, so today I'm going to try to do a quick, easy landscape. I think that the image is mirrored from how I'm visualizing this and how I'm seeing this in real life. So hopefully that doesn't throw things off too much. I'm going to try not to say left and right because that might throw things off. I'll just go with like up, down, and yeah. We'll give this a try. All right, so for our canvas today, I just have an 8-inch by 10-inch canvas panel. And then for our palette, I'm just using an old canvas panel. We're going to use acrylic paints today. These are budget-friendly acrylic paints. You can use whatever brand you'd like. For our colors today, we have titanium white, sky blue, ultramarine blue. This one's like it says violet, but it's like a cooler purple. This one is phthalo blue. This is saddle brown. If you have a burnt umber, that'll work in place of that. This one is dark green. This is spring green. So if you have like a permanent green light with a little bit of yellow, you'll get something close to that. This one is permanent green medium. This one's olive. This is yellow oxide. So if you have yellow ochre, that's pretty close to this one. Yellow ochre is just a little lighter than this. And then we have like a primary yellow color. And I'm just going to be painting like a spring, summertime, calm lake in the Appalachian Mountains. Quick landscape. Not going to get into too much detail. We'll see if we can do this entire painting in less than 45 minutes. And we'll just see how that goes. All right, so first I also have a cup of water here, and I have some napkins, and then I guess brushes. Let's look at those real quick. We've got a flat tip brush, we've got an angled brush, and we've got 2 round tip brushes. One's a little bit bigger than the other one. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm going to start by dipping the brush in the water, and we'll take some ultramarine blue. Just to really thin down the paint. And I'm just going to sketch. We'll do a horizon line a little bit above center there. So we have, this is where the lake is, basically the top of the lake. And then we have, so say this is like our center of the canvas here. We're going to start just to the one side of center, do a little lip, and then kind of come up, like a little squiggly mountain hill thing. So you want your end point to be about halfway between center and top. So this is about where the top of that hill slope is there. And then we've got another one behind it that's even smaller because it's farther in the distance, and that one comes up about halfway from this one over here. So just like that. And then we've got a big one in the background that kind of just comes like this and then kind of disappears off into the distance there. And then we've got sky all above that. We've got a little bit of a tree we're going to add in the foreground at the very end. Let's see, Fernando, hello. And this is going to be our water. I'm just going to bring this one down a little bit below that horizon line. There, okay. And then we've got a shoreline that starts at center and comes off to about this quarter mark on the side. And kind of just goes like this. That's our shoreline, where we can just see a little bit there. And then we've got a downed log. It's kind of coming up, goes into the water, just like that. And there's a couple little twigs sticking off of that too, but it's got a reflection that we're going to add to the water. And then we've got some more plants kind of chilling over there. All right, so that's the basic layout for the sketch. We're going to put that brush in the water, and we're going to switch to our flat tip brush. I'm going to take some of my sky blue with a little phthalo blue and ultramarine blue and white. A little more ultramarine. And a more ultramarine. It's a good color. And we're going to start with the top of the canvas, just going back and forth, covering up all of the white space. Just going back and forth. I'm going to start to mix in more white and sky blue, a little more phthalo blue. Just start to make it brighter as we go down. Working pretty quickly so I can blend the paint together while it's still wet. Just going right up to my tree line there. And just taking some pure white for down here. Letting it blend with the blue on my brush. Now we've got our sky. And then I'm just going to take the extra paint off of this brush right here on my napkin. And take some pure white and just start to add some little like misty, cirrusy clouds to the sky. Not blend them in too much. Just holding the brush at different angles, taking little swoops of paint. Try not to get like a sharp line, but get a little bit of the brush work that we need for clouds. All right, looking good. I'm gonna take a little bit more of my sky blue and phthalo. Just get things a little darker in here where we have less clouds. All right, so there's the sky. It's pretty quick and easy. Now let's move down to this mountain in the background. We're gonna take some ultramarine blue, a little bit of that purple, violet color, and a little bit of that dark green. And we've got some white to mix in there too. And we'll just put this back here. Just kind of go right up to where you started your sky. A little bit more green, purple. Still just using that flat tip brush. I'm going to take a little bit of white, the base here. And just take your brush, get good paint coverage there. Let it kind of fade down to that lighter color at the bottom, and maybe make it a little bit more purple and blue at the top. Could do a couple little lines that kind of carry down into the mountains. All right, looks good. And then we're going to move even closer with this one. Take a little more blue, ultramarine blue, with some of our dark green. We'll start to mix a little bit of our permanent green in there too. And just start to cover up that little bit of the back mountain. And you can take your brush and just kind of push it up to the edge. It'll give you a little bit of that tree line look. Start to see a few of the trees. And take a little phthalo blue and saddle brown. At the bottom here, it's a little darker because things are in shadow. So a little more phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, saddle brown. Kind of building up those shadows at the bottom. All right, and we're going to keep moving forward here. I'm going to start with my shadow colors here. So I'm just mixing my blues with that color I already had. Just starting right at the bottom for this one, since I already had these colors on my brush. Just going to start to carry that line down even more at the bottom there. And you could take your flat tip brush and kind of push around the brush using different angles, holding the brush at different angles, and that'll give you more of the tree top look. It's a quick way to make your painting look more detailed even when you're not putting too much time into the detail. Okay, now I'm just going to get the extra paint off of my brush here. Not really washing it off yet. I'm going to take some olive, spring green, and primary yellow. Some dark green. And I'll do a little oxide too. And let's see. Let's do a little more dark green. I'm going to take some white. Just trying to make that color look a little more natural. All right, so we blended that color. Now we can take our brush and just start to add some little highlights on here over the darker sections. Got a couple little trees at the bottom. I'm gonna take some more just dark green. Start to add some more middle value green here, not super highlight color and not a shadow color. Oops. Yeah, just start to make like little like mound shapes like that for your highlights. And the color is going to blend in with your shadows a little bit, but that's okay because we don't want it to stand out too much here. It's a little more in shadow down there. When you do want it to stand out, you'll take that lighter color and just kind of put that as a brighter highlight over top of some things. And you could wait and let your layers dry in between if you really want these colors to stand out. All right, there's that one. And then I'm just going to add some highlights. I'm going to take a little more white and a little bit more of that sky blue and a little phthalo. And we'll add some highlights back here too. Still using this flat tip brush, just keeping everything pretty loose. Not getting too caught up on the details. And you can take a little bit more white and add some even brighter little highlights in there. Looks good. All right, now let's start working on the water. I'm gonna clean, just put that brush in the, wow. I'll just put that brush in the water and we'll switch to this angled brush. We're gonna take some white and ultramarine blue, tiny bit of phthalo, and just go right up to make a nice flat line right under that tree line in the back there. And it can come right up, part way up your tree line that's a little closer to the foreground. Just try to make that nice and flat. Take some more white. We're weary, hello, how's it going? You said lovely, thank you. All right, so this part of the lake is really bright. I'm gonna add a little more white over there. I think it's just the light reflecting and there's like some wind that's blowing the water. Just keep your brush strokes back and forth and it'll look more realistic. We're gonna take some more of our blues. A little more sky blue too. We're gonna add that down here. Just blend that up into your lighter color. You want this to be a little darker than your actual sky. Taking more of our blues. A little bit of brown in there too, sure. And maybe a little purple. And we'll do the bottom like that. Take a little more white, ultramarine. Let this blend up into this color. The trick is to work quickly so that you can keep blending your colors. If you're using oil paint, then this will take much longer to dry and you can take your time with it a little more. But for acrylic paint, you want to try to get this paint on here quickly so you can blend and transition your colors nice and softly. I just went over that entire reflection of the log. We'll paint that back in later. All right, I'm just going to wipe down my brush a little, take a little more white with a hint of ultramarine and sky blue for over here. And then we got to add the reflection of some of these hills. So we're going to take our dark green with our blue, ultramarine blue, a little saddle brown, and just add this down here. This one just kind of comes out like that. And again, we're kind of blending here. We don't want to have a perfect vision of like a perfect reflection because there's a little bit of wind and a little bit of movement on the water. So I'm just taking the brush, working back and forth and letting it kind of blend in with the other watercolors there. And then we're going to take some ultramarine, some phthalo, and our saddle brown again. Just darken this section right here. Can build up the shadows a little bit more in the actual trees too. All right, good. I'm going to switch to the smaller brush now. I'm going to take some, just dip the brush in the water a little bit. Take some of this white with that light blue color and just kind of take these, some quick little brush strokes along the horizon line where the lake meets the land, adding a couple little highlights and shadows in there. There's like a little bit of that reflection of the shadows over here. And there's a little bit in here too. Take a little bit of your highlight colors, start to add those in here. So if these highlights are coming down like this, then you want the opposite for the water. So you have a mirror. And once we got those on there, we can take our flat tip brush, get all the extra paint and water off of it, and just kind of drag that over, and it'll look more like the reflection in water. All right, looks good. I think I'm going to take just a little more white. Just lighten things up a little more in here. Looks good. And then we got to add our clouds. So I'm cleaning off my brush really well, taking all the extra paint off and the water. And we're just going to take some light. And let's blend that in with a little ultramarine blue since this dried already. And we'll just add a couple of those clouds back in the water. You can add some water to your brush. That'll make your paints just kind of glide on the canvas there. And then if it's getting kind of like dry brushy looking and you don't like that, then you just have to reblend the color or something close to it. And just kind of soften those blends by blending the initial color again. Let's see, this one's kind of like this, so we gotta do one like that. Try to kind of make it that mirror image of what you have in the sky. Thanks. Thanks, he says, still watching. Warrior, thank you. We're going to wrap this up as soon as we can. We're got a lot going on today, so I wanted to do a stream again just to get something on my channel for today. Very good. And now let's move to the logs. We're going to take saddle brown with our purple and some phthalo and ultramarine. And you're just going to start right at the edge there where the water is. I'm still using this flat tip brush. I'm just holding it in a way that I can get a nice edge. And then for the reflection, let's just take a little more blue and purple. And you kind of want it to come same way, down just like that. And it's a little more calm right in the foreground here. So you don't have a whole lot of like ripples and stuff going through it. All right, now we're gonna take our saddle green with our saddle brown with our dark green and a little phthalo blue. We're just gonna get the land. And some phthalo blue with this green, permanent green. And we'll just add a little bit of a bush here. You can add a couple little highlights with the permanent green and some yellow. Some of the oxide, add that in there, and some white. So a really quick, easy little landscape. Just adding little highlights on this little bush here. You can take some of our green. Things always stay a little darker towards the bottom of the trees or bushes too. And I thought about adding, there's like a tree up here, but I think I'm just gonna leave that like that because it'll distract from this tree, I think. So we'll touch up this little log. Just gonna add some little, then I'll take some whites and some oxide. Hi Jackie, how's it going? Yeah, I'll just do a couple quick little lines on there. For the bark, just do a little bit of something on the reflection. And then let's take our little brush and we'll mix our brown with ultramarine. And we'll just start to add some little stems coming off of the tree here. Let's see, we need to put these all in the reflection too. So I'm going to add one there, one there. Just like a little bit of one coming off right there. Looks good. Take some more ultramarine and purple. Just add a little shadow under here. And we can add a little highlight, just a little oxide and white, a little saddle brown, a little bit of purple. And just add that kind of the top of the tree. Okay, and then we just gotta do a little bit down here. Let's take ultramarine. Saddle brown. And just kind of push the paint around a little bit. Can add some little grasses with our olive and ultramarine. Take some permanent green and spring green. And we'll just take some spring green, a little white, brighten up these highlights on here a little bit. Just to boost that contrast in the foreground. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Pretty quick, easy one. And that was about a half hour. So, yep, nice, quick, easy little landscape. If you just want something fun to do, that'll make you feel good about yourself. Here's a quick, easy little landscape painting to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys like my webcam. Got the new webcam. And yeah, if you have any other comments or you have ideas for future paintings that you would like to see, then just leave a comment on the video once the video's all posted. Thanks, guys. Bye, Jackie. Bye, Where Are We? Have a good night, guys. Or a good day, I should say. Bye-bye.